we have created the EC2 instance, and on that instance we are about to launch the application, or it can be the any code, not only the application, any code that you want to bootstrap, that you want to launch when the EC2 instance is going to start. Okay, so that particular code you can write it in the user data as we have written in the yesterday's class, but because of some reasons we were not able to start that particular service. Okay, so like to if you want to download or update the installations, or if you want to perform any such specific task, so you can do that. Okay, so directly straightforward, but I'm going to open my management console, so let's continue with that. Let me share the screen. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. So let's continue. Log in back. So we have seen yesterday, but as SSH protocol we have already seen, and we are going to work for that as well. So okay, so I have already logged in. This is not Virginia. Let's move back to Asia Pacific. Okay, so let's move to the EC2 instance and try to create the one of the instance in EC2. So let's move to the instances. Okay, so this is one of the instance running. Let's stop this instance. But do we have discussed this public IPv4 and private IPv4 addresses? So we will be executing this as well in our today's class. I'll show you the difference, how this is going to work. So this is stopping. So this is shutting down. Let's have a new instance. Okay, let it be demo instance 1. Okay, demo instance 1 I'm going to have. Rest, let's keep everything free, tier eligible, T2 micro. Keep your name. Do we have a? Yes. Let's have a create a new key pair. It be demo key pair. Okay, and better make sure while you are writing this name, do not include the spaces in this. Okay, so do not include spaces into it, so that is going to create a problem when we'll be using this next time. Okay, so demo key pair I'm going to create. Some of you was asking, sir, where are we going to use this key pair? That is also I'm going to show it now. So it needs to be key pair. Since I'm using the Mac operating system, RS is going to work absolutely fine. Private key file format will remain as it is. .pem file will be downloaded. Otherwise, for the Windows version less than 7, so you need to download the ppk file, which can be used with the putty. Okay, so let's have a demo key pair. Download this. So demo key pair is downloaded. Okay, so demo key pair is downloaded now. Network is done. Create a security group. If I want to create a security group or select the existing one? So do I have a existing security group? Yes, we have a launch wizard 1. So a lot of security groups are available. Okay, so I'm going to use this security group. Everything else remains same. Let's come to the advanced security. Everything, skip this EBS only, and let's move to the user data. Okay, so let's paste the script, the same script. We have not changed anything in the script. So yum update file, yum install. This is, by the way, Linux commands. So that I'm going to use start, enable, and this is echo command is going to be executed. H1 header tags is there, and it is going to display hello world from host name, and this is going to display the private IP address onto the page, and this is going to be the HTML page. I hope this works. Launch instance. So okay, instance is launched. Let's move to the view all instances. So refresh this one. This is terminated. Okay, so one of this is demo instance which is already terminated, and another one is demo instance one that we have created now. It is still in pending state. Let it start. Okay, so this is in the running state. Let's click on this running state. So we were trying to, so this is the public IPv4 address. This address is going to be used for the communication with the outer world. That means whatever is present on the world wide web, www. So you will be using this public IPv4 address for communication with the rest of the outer world. But within the cloud itself, if you want to have one of the instances want to communicate with the rest of the instances, so in that case we can use this private v4 address. And let's move back a little. Host name is there, IPv6 address is not required. So this is demo instance one, and ID is given, instance ID is given. Okay, let's move back. VPC subnet ID and platform. ठीक है, let's move to, yes beta, give me a second. Okay, okay, so let's try to see security better. In this security you'll see the security group, and within that security group better rule, you'll have the security group which is there, launch wizard one, that we have selected at the time of creation. This is SGR security group. IDs, as we can see the ID for the instance, same ID can we see for the security group. Port is 2022 for TCP, and there will be an SSH, then outbound rules. Okay, for better understanding, let's click on the security groups and understand this. Now beta, security group name is launch wizard one, that we have already selected, and in this you'll have SSH. Let's have the edit inbound rule. Along with the SSH we also need to have HTTP. So HTTP port number is 80. So custom, I want to allow anywhere the traffic should be 0000/0. Anywhere from IPv4 the traffic can be there. Okay, so let's save the rules. Inbound rules are saved. So two permissions for all the inbound traffic. There are two permissions, and one permission is for the outbound. Okay, so two permission you can see for HTTP. The port number that is open is 80, and the source anywhere from 0000.0 the traffic can originate. And similarly for SSH, there's a, the protocol uses TCP, and the port from which the traffic can originate is 22. Okay, this is important to understand. Let's move back to our EC2 instance. Let's move to instances. Okay, and let's move to details. I'm going to, better simply, if I'm going to open this address, so this is still going to be a endless loop. This is going to run. But if I'm going to copy this, and if I'm going to add HTTP before this one, so let's suppose if I click on this, okay, this is working absolutely fine. But let me share the screen. Let me stop. Entire window. Okay, so I hope you can see this screen. Let's remove this. And I was saying, if you'll simply click on, beta, if you'll simply click on the open address, so you'll see still it is going to be an infinite loop. That means security group is not allowing to open it. Okay, because we have not include HTTP, the port number 80 is not going to allow this to open. So what we can do is simply we can copy the public IPv4. So instead of that, so see HTTP, we can write it, this is p colon backslash, and if we'll open this, you'll see this works. So hello world from IP 172, from this is the region which we are present right now. This is AP South region 1, and this is the internally file that is being displayed. Now the important point to understand from here is, but this IP, which IP is being displayed? See, 2 points you need to understand. The IP that is present is 15.206.116.86. This is what? This is my public IP address. This is my 15.206.1106.86. This is the public IP address using which I have opened this. Okay. But when you will see this in the message, we hello world from IP address, that means the instance IP address that is being displayed, this is the private IP address. If you can see there, 172.31.46, 172.31.46.249. So the same thing is displayed here. Okay. So are you able to understand this? Now let's continue the next part. Now what's happened? Better, this is being displayed because of HTTP protocol. HTTP, because of that protocol, it is displaying. So if let's move to security, if we want to have this, let's go to launch wizard, edit the inbound rules, and let's suppose I'm going to delete this now. This is HTTP which I have added. If I'm going to remove this, and let's save the rules. Okay, let's save the rules and let's move back and let's run this. So you'll see it is still going to be an infinite. Can you see this? The cursor is still moving. So it is still going to be an infinite loop. It is not able to trace that because it is not able to get this. So whenever anywhere you are able to get this timeout situation, that means it is the security group is not able to fetch the HTTP 80 port for its working. So what we can do is again, let's go to this one, let's add the rules. So this is going to be HTTP, and automatically the port, it is going to come 80. So this is not going to be my, okay, I can give my IP address, that this IP address should be able to communicate with the instance only. But what is the disadvantage? Let's suppose tomorrow if your IP, this IP is going to change, so you, again it will not be reachable. You'll not be able to reach any of your instances. So let's keep it the anywhere. Let's save the rules. Okay, inbound rules is saved now. So you'll see we have SSH and HTTP, both of them are going to be here. And let's move back and see. See, it is there, it has stopped loading. So see, if I'll keep on entering this, so the page is automatically loaded. That means it is working absolutely fine. Okay, the same thing is there. Okay, another very important point is, let's move to the instances. This you have studied, that HTTP protocol is going to be very important when you want to use the public IP address in order to fetch all the details. Now the another important point is, let's suppose this is running, I am going to stop this instance. Okay, temporarily I have demo instance once that I have created, I'm going to stop this. Okay, now once I'm going to stop this, if I'm going to relaunch it, still I will not be able to fetch it. Okay, can anyone tell me the reason why? So if I'm going to stop this and I'm going to relaunch it, I will not be able to get this one. I'll not be able to get this one. Why? Can anyone tell me? Yesterday we were trying.
Because your IP address changed at that time.
Yes, IP address is going to change at that time. Was we trying HTTPS? No, but it was not with S. I was trying with HTTP. There might be some issue with this.
Sir, अगर जैसे कल हम कनेक्ट कर रहे थे HTTP, वहाँ पे जो इंस्टेंस लॉन्च करने के टाइम में ऑप्शन आता तो हमने टिक लगाया था ना, लाइक SSH और लास्ट में HTTP और सेम टाइम अगर हम HTTPS को भी अलाउ करें, तब तो ये ओपन हो सकता था ना।
हाँ बेटा, हो सकता है, हो सकता है। You can do that.
अगर 3 बॉक्सेस को चेक करते हो,
तीनों बॉक्सेस को कर सकते हैं. In that case also it is going to work. But make sure when you are launching, you have the launch wizard 1. इस नाम का बेटा you have a security group. Make sure you open the security group and you need to make sure you have 3 ports open. Port number 22 for SSH, port number 80 for HTTP, and port number 443. ओके, फॉर HTTPS जो आपका सिक्योर्ड होता है उसके लिए पोर्ट होता है पोर्ट नंबर आई थिंक 443. सो वो पोर्ट भी ओपन होना चाहिए, देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू गेट इट. Okay, so let's see if I have stopped this instance. Okay, now instance is stopped. let's move and let's try to execute this one once again. So this is not going to work. This is not going to work because we have already instance that is not live. I have shut down the, I've stopped the particular instances. Now if I'll relaunch the instance, if I'm going to relaunch the instance demo instance one, this ideally this should work. Ideally this should work, but it is still not going to work even if I'll relaunch this particular instance. Okay, let's move, let's see, let's have this working condition. Okay, this is running. Now this is running. Let's move to this one. But if you'll see here, I have just stopped the instance and I have relaunched the instance. You will observe earlier public IP address was 15.206.116.86. Now when I'll stop and relaunch, you will see 13.27.96.132. That means public IPv4 addresses are going to change every time you stop an instance and every time you launch an instance. So your public IP address is going to change, but your private IP address is still same, 72.31.46.249. So that's remains same. So what we can do is, this is the one of the issues that might face. अब मुझे अब अगर if I need to open this, so let me close this one. I'll open this. It is still not going to work. So let's copy this and okay, now this is going to exactly work like same. So that means what changes I have made, but I have just copied the new IP public IPv4 addresses, and with that I am still able to get the same private IP address. Okay, with the help of that I'm still able to get the same private IP address. That means every time you shut down the instance and you relaunch it, you need to update with the new IP addresses. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? But what's your take? Is it a good thing or a bad thing that every time IP address is going to change?
Sir, I
Anji,
think it's a good thing.
it's a good thing. How?
Sir,
It will
nobody will
it
trace you,
will
no?
secure.
Okay. So suppose beta you have thousands of instances, you are running operations and few of the instances are going to be down. In that case, you relaunch the servers. In that case, when it is going to reboot, naya IP address create होगा public IP address and you need to make a changes everywhere. It did depend. The answer is going to be this depends on situation to situation. From security perspective, this is a good thing that you can have a new public IP address that you are not dependent upon the previous one. But sometimes, suppose there is a something problem or you want to make some changes in the instance, you temporarily stop it, you relaunch it, and still you need to update the public IP v4 address. बेटा एक इसका एक solution है. I will not be sticking to this public IPv4 addresses. I can use here the elastic IP addresses. Okay, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग elastic IP addresses भी use कर सकते हैं. We are going to start with elastic IP addresses. उसके साथ होगा क्या कि even if you stop the instance, then you relaunch the instance, your elastic IP address is going to be same. And let me better give you this disclaimer. This IP, this elastic, okay, it is here in network and security. In network and security, you will see there is a elastic IPs. Can you see this elastic IPs? So we can use this elastic IPs. We need to create it and we can use it. But before that, let me give you this disclaimer that if you use this elastic IP addresses, better these are chargeable. Okay, so I'll be creating it, I'll be applying it, showing you the demo, and immediately after that I will be deleting it. So in case you want to practice it, don't keep it the elastic IP addresses for so long. Just for practice purpose you can do this, and immediately after that you need to terminate this one. Okay, but before starting with that, we need to discuss the another very important points, that is SSH. Okay, so SSH, do you remember? Okay, let me show this, the PPT. Give me a second. Mm. So in the last class, we have seen the SSH. Yes. Beta, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we were discussing the overview of the SSH. So they access to the ports, these SSH, the security groups. First of all, we'll see. So in security groups, you have three different types: HTTP, SSH, and custom TCP. You can create any other one. Okay, they access to the provide the port. They access provide the IP ranges from IPv4 to IPv6. We'll discuss this as well. Difference between IPv4 and IPv6. So in security groups, beta, we create for any instance एक उसके outside we are going to create a layer, firewall के जैसे ये layer होगा, security group which is either going to allow or block. So if it allows port 22 for a particular IP address, only that one is going to that is going to be allowed. This is inward flow, this is outward flow. So it is open. Outbound is security group is allowing for have a communication with the all the outside world, but it is blocking lot of ports that are not able to communicate with this one. Okay, इसके बाद I am here to discuss the ports soon. Okay, this is classic ports HTTPS. I have told you this is 443 port. Now the another point is this SSH summary table. बेटा SSH क्या है? This is secure shell. Secure shell आपके पास क्या करेगा? This is going to be the Linux based command prompt. So that can be used for operating your instances. Suppose you have multiple instances, and if you want to operate using the instancing like demo instance one or first instance or whatever instances we have created, you can operate it using secure shell. And this is the shell provided by the Amazon Linux operating system. Okay, this shell, this is the command line interface provided by Amazon Linux operating system. And for the Mac and the Linux, this SSH is going to work absolutely fine. Okay, now since beta I am using Mac operating system, I will first of all I'll try to show you that how Mac is going to work with SSH. Okay, now this the same way the Mac is going to work with SSH, the same way it is going to work with Linux is going to work with the SSH. But after that we'll try to establish the same thing using EC2 instance connect. This is a web based, this is a browser based. Because you need not to have anything in this one, so you just need to open the browser and you are good to go. Okay, now a lot of you were lot of students were asking, sir, you have downloaded that RSA key pair, where we are going to use this? Beta, for connectivity of your Mac with the SSH, we will be using this RSA key pair. Okay, let me share the terminal. So beta, I'm going to open for, see, you can, if you are in a Windows or Linux, you can open the command prompt. I am on the Mac operating system, so I am going to use my terminal. Okay, let me stop the screen share and let me take you to my terminal. So what I'm basically, if I'm too fast, beta, you can ask me to slow down. I'm just trying to open my Mac operating system command prompt, which is called as the terminal. So I'm going to open the terminal, and from terminal, I'll try to start my EC2 instance. So this is what we are trying to do using SSH, okay, secure shell. And the same thing we can do with the browser base. After that, I'll show you that as well. So first of all, let's have this terminal. Okay, so beta, I hope this is visible to you. So you can do ls in order to find what are the steps or what are the folders here. Okay, so desktop documents, we need to go to the desktop. I have already, okay, just let me stop presenting entire screen. Before we start with this terminal, before we start with this terminal, let me go to the downloads folder, and here you will see better the file that we have downloaded, demo key pair .pem file. So this is the file that we have, while I was creating an instance, I have downloaded this file, and this file is basically going to be not it, this file should not have any of the spaces. Please make sure. And better establishing the connection using SSH, lot of students are going to face a difficulty in this one, so you can pay attention or you can watch the video afterwards. So I'm simply going to copy this, and I have created one folder of AWS course. Okay, can you see the desktop? In desktop, I have just copied the file from the download. I am going to move it to the desktop AWS course, and I'm going to paste this. Let's delete the previous one. This is the previous, move to bin. So I have demo keypair.pem file is there. Okay, what is the path there? I can check the path, get info. So this is present users Sahil Sharma desktop AWS course. So this file is present under the desktop. So let's move to this console. Okay, so I can write simply cd. Okay, so I'll write cd desktop, and within desktop, now if you want to say what is present in my desktop, so you can do this. I have lot of screenshots present on the desktop. Okay, and but we are supposed to go cd aws hyphen, what was the name? This is aws course. Okay, okay, so you'll observe we have entered the AWS course. And now if you do ls here, you will find within the folder of AWS course, if you do ls, you will find there is a one file present with the name demo keypair.pem. Okay, the file is present with the name demo keypair.pem. Now we are used to execute. Sir, sir, this commands will not work in Windows.
Yes, sir. These commands are not working in Windows.
Not working. Beta, which version, which Windows you are having?
Then
Windows 10. This
10 में
might
काम नहीं
work.
कर रहा सर.
ओके, नो इश्यूज बेटा. सी, हमारे पास मल्टीपल ऑप्शन है. आप कंसोल से भी कर सकते हैं, और आप ये जो वेब बेस्ड ब्राउजर है, इट इज मोर कन्वीनियंट. आपको ये कनेक्टिविटी नहीं करनी पड़ेगी इन वेब बेस्ड ब्राउजर्स. जस्ट लुक ऑन टू दिस. आई टेल यू दैट हाउ दिस इज गोइंग टू वर्क फॉर द विंडोज एज वेल. उसके लिए आपको शायद एक तो इंस्टॉलेशन करनी पड़े. But after this, we'll start with the web-based EC2 instance, and it is going to, if any of the one way is going to work, that is more than enough. Okay, you'll not get confused between all these things. But this is for the educational purpose, that from the console as well, if you know the Linux commands, and from that console you can work. Okay, otherwise I'll also be using 90% of the times I'll be using the web-based console. This is for the educational purpose. Okay, now once you move this, and then you just अजीब बेटा की पेयर. Okay, Okay, so but mistakenly I had left the meeting. Okay, so once you have got this, better you just need to type here SSH and then hyphen EC2 user at the rate. Then you need to specify the public IP address. So I'm simply going to copy the public IP address. You might have seen it. So copy it from here and I'm going to paste it here. So you will observe there will be few warnings issued. Okay. This key is not known for any other names. Are you sure you want to continue the connecting? So yes, let's try to type yes, I want to continue. Warning permanently. The first unknown host. Permission denied. Public key. Okay. So a permission is denied. Mm, okay. First of all, we just need to do SSH hyphen I, then copy. We need to specify this key. Permission is denied because we have not specified the key. So SSH hyphen I demo key pair dot PEM demo key pair bind address. Okay. So this is done. Mm, let's have this EC2 dot user. And better, by the way, this EC2 dot user, this is AWS AMI जो आपका Linux का user है, this is the default one. So you can have the any other IP address, but EC2 dot user is the default user that is being provided to you by the console. Okay. At the rate, this is going to be at the rate, and then public IP address, copy and paste. Okay. Warning, unprotected private. Okay, unprotected private key file. So that means the file that we are going to use, this is unprotected, so not an issue. So even if you'll get this as a warning, so in that case we are going to simply use one more another command, that is chmod. Let's try to write chmod 04. But don't worry if you are not able to understand, this is simply a few of the Linux commands. So this is not as important to understand from where this came. So you can simply see how this is going to work. Demo key pair, let's copy this one, 0400 demo key pair, and let's execute. And yes, you'll see now we don't have any such warning. And now if I'm going to execute the previous command, so now this will work absolutely fine. Okay. Now see, you have got this. Better you might have seen this. Now once I have executed this particular command for the unprotected private key file, again I executed the same command ssh demo key pair.pem ec2 user data. Then what is this 13.127.96.132? This is the public. Okay,
IP address.
let me share the entire screen. Okay, so if you'll better see here, the public IP address that I've copied from here, 13.127.96.132. So I've copied this, I have pasted it in the terminal. So 1327, and it is working absolutely fine. You will see EC2 Amazon Linux 2.ami. So it is all ready. So you can do anything here. So I can do let's write who am I, if it is working. So see, I have written who am I. So I have got the response. I am going to be EC2 user, or you can type. These are all the Linux commands. Ping google.com. See if we are getting the response. See, but we are getting the response from the Google. So I've simply done the ping.google.com. So I'm getting the response. So this is the difficult part. Lot of students used to face a difficulty in launching this Linux 2 AMI. So let's say Control C to stop this, and Control D to log out. Control C to stop this ping, and you can do control, or you can simply type the exit, or you can simply type control, or in my Mac it is Control C and Control D. In Windows it is will be the Control C plus D, same commands will be there. So you can simply log out, and this particular AMI session is going to be EC2 session is closed. So this is how you can actually practice the sessions. Okay, now this session is actually being closed, and if I want to revisit this session, so can I do this? See, again I can open this because I have provided all the access to it. Again it is going to be open. Take. Now the same thing better we can do with the help of, if we don't want to use this console, if you don't want to use this console, what we can do is you can click on any of the instances that you want to work. So I'll click on the instance. I'll click on the demo instance, and after clicking on the demo instance, you can click on the connect. Can you see this connect option? Click on the connect. Either you can do this. See, I have shown you only two ways. So I have shown you how you can use the Mac operating system to establish a SSH secure shell, a Linux environment provided by Amazon. You can do this one. This is done, but I'll not be able to use with the help of Linux and neither with the Windows. I have done this one. Now I'll show you how EC2 instance connect can be done, because this will remain same. If none of you is working, if this is not working, every one of you can execute this one, okay, without any establishing the path, or without establishing any of the things. So click on this, click on connect. The moment you click on connect beta, you'll see EC2 instance connect. Can you see it here? It's very easy. This is EC2 instance connect. Click on that connect. Username automatically, this is the default user that you get here. So default user is this one. In most cases the guest username is correct. However, read your AMI using instruction to check the AMI owner has changed default AMI username. But in my case it is this one, and automatically it has fetched. Why it has fetched automatically? Because this is going to be my public IP address. I'm logging in from the same console, so this is going to be fetching automatically. Okay, now simply click on connect. Nothing need to be done. Better the moment you click on connect, see, you have got the same thing, EC2 Amazon Linux 2 AMI, but this is absolutely working in the same way. Okay, so same thing you can do right here, who am I. If I write it there, so again I have got the EC2 as an answer. So again write ping google.com. Okay, so you have been getting the response from the servers of the Google. So you are doing the ping command. Okay, so the same thing actually whatever we have done using the Mac, यही चीज बेटा आप Linux के साथ SSH भी shell को आप enable कर सकते हैं. The same thing you can do from the Windows as well, but of course the path or the few of the steps and the commands might be different in your case. So simply Control C to stop this and Control D to log out from this one. Let me stop this one. Okay, so this is one of the point. This is done. Apart from this, EC2 instance is running. Oh shit. One more thing is there that I was about to explain. Let's move to EC2 connect. And this is connected. Actually this is working for the cloud shell. बेटा cloud shell की जो कुछ commands है आप वो भी यहाँ पे execute कर सकते हो. Like you can write AWS hyphen version hyphen. Okay, so that means AWS जो आपका CL, the cloud shell that I have shown you in the earlier classes, it is working